Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome if you're new. In today's video we're going to be doing an update of my completed colouring pages. So I'm going to run from January through till June, so the first half of this year, and just show you everything that I've managed to get completed so far. So I thought we'd start with the biggest first, so that's Johanna Basford's calendar for 2022. So I've actually been quite good at completing this, and I've done each month as required, should I say. So this is the first one that I did. So for this one I used the touch markers to do like a base on certain items, like all these leaves here, because they were quite a lot. So I thought if I use the touch markers and get the base colour down, then I can just add some shade in with the pencils. So the pencils I used on here were the coarse pastel pencils, and then for the tree I used the Arteza pencils. The cores don't come with, they are all just pastels, so they don't come with any browns or oranges, so I had to use the Artezas just to do this little fox down here and the tree. But this is the January page completed. So next we've got February, which was this lovely little flower picture. So I used Castle Art pencils for this one and some soft pastel for the background. But I really like how these little mushrooms came out down the bottom here. I think they were my favourite out of the whole page. And then we've got March, which was this like parrot picture. So this one I used watercolours for the background, which is the first time I tried watercolours on this paper. And it came out quite nice. It worked, the watercolours worked all right. It didn't buckle the paper, as you can see. That's all fine. So that worked all right in the end. And then I just added in some little white clouds with some Posca pen afterwards, just to try and hide where the watercolour marks were left on the paper, because sometimes you can see where you've done the watercolours and it leaves like little lines in the background, which really annoys me. So I thought I'd do that to try and disguise some of them. But that was this one. Then we've got April. So this is April's picture. So this one I actually used Artezas for all of this, and even the background. Did I use them or did I use pastels? I think I used pastels actually to add this yellow into the background, but the rest was all done with Artezas, all the different flowers and everything. I actually really enjoyed doing this one, which is unusual for me because it's a lot of flowers in there. But because they were all different and on like different levels, I was doing like one level at a time. I actually really enjoyed this one, and I'm quite happy with how it came out in the end. I think it looks quite nice. So next we've got May. So this one is May. So again, just some more flowers. I know I used soft pastels for the background on this one because I can see the different colours that I've used, the blue and the pink. And then I think it was Castle Art pencils that I used for the flowers themselves. And it looks like some gel pen there because I've got some sparkly gel pen. I don't know if you can see that on camera. So I think I used some gel pen just to add some sparkles into there as well. And we've got some little white dots. So I definitely used some Posca pen. That's that one. And then we have June, which is the last one, which would have been in my last completed pages video as well. So this one I know I used Faber-Castell Black Edition and then some soft pastels for the background, and then went over it with some glitter gel pen. So I'll just bring it up so that you guys can see the glitter gel pen and the little unicorns. Wow, they're quite big unicorns really, aren't they? So yeah, so far I've done quite well with this one. I've actually managed to do the picture in the month and haven't run late with any of them, which is quite surprising. So next we've got Dreamlings 2, and I've only done one picture in here, which was the first page. So for this one I used the Black Widow pencils to do all the sea and the little house. And then the background I did some soft pastels, so I did like blue and black to try and make it look like a dark starry night at sea. And then I just went over the stars with some watercolour paint that I had that's got like glitter in it, just to make them a little bit shinier. So that was this page. Next we've got Rita Berman's Mine Restitch Europa. So I've actually done quite a few in here, so I've got them all tagged out and ready to go so that I know which pages I did this year. So the first one that I did was this double page spread. There's videos up on my channel for all of these. We did them as a colour along, so each little picture, and we used the Arteza pencils to do this one. So the next one that I've got in here is this page here. So this one, again, I used the Black Widow pencils for this one, and then added some Posca pen into the background. And I think I used some of the coarse pastel pencils for this background up here, because that doesn't look like the Black Widow colours. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I did. So that's another one from this book. Then we've got one hiding in here somewhere. Oh, that's that one. So this one. So this one I did as a buddy colour on my channel. Quite recently I did this one as well. I quite like how this one came out. I think I used the Artezas. Yeah, Arteza pencils I used for this one. You can kind of tell by the colours, so. But yeah, and then I added some gel pen into the clouds just to make them look a little bit more shiny. But that's how this one came out. Then next we've got this one. So this page I completed with the random colour wheel challenge. So each little picture was done with different pencils to try and see what we'd get. And then I think it was like 7 different colours that we used for each one. So we had a different brand and then 7 colours from each brand to complete these. So I'll just bring this one up so you can see the outcome. This one I finished in October, so that one doesn't count. And then we've got this one. So this one again I did as a colour along on my channel. So this one was a whole the whole page was completed in one video for you guys to watch. So I'll just bring that up so that you can see. So that was that one. We used Artezas and soft pastel for the background, and then some white Posca. And then next we've got this one. Again, this one was done as a colour along on my channel. So we used the Arteza pencils and soft pastels for the background. This one I did more of like a pinky, purpley, blue kind of background. I'll just see if I can show you a little bit closer. And then some white Posca to go over the clouds. And I think that's the last one. Yep, that's the last one in this book. So that's the ones that I've done from January to June. Next I've got this one, which is called Inky Whimsy from Helen Elliston. So this one I've only done one picture in again. So this one was the Black Widow pencils, and then I used the metallic watercolour paint again for the background. So if I move it around, you can see it's quite shiny. I just thought I'd try it out on this page because I hadn't used them much and I wanted to see what they'd look like. But they actually work quite nicely. I was quite surprised at how they came out. I think next time I'd probably add like a few different colours so it's not all the same colour in the background. But I do like the shiny effect that it gives. So that was that one. Next we've got Tales from the Forest Kingdom by Hannah Carlson. So I haven't had this book very long, but I've managed to do a couple of pages so far this year. So this is one of the first ones that I did in here, and I used the Brute Ferner pencils I think for this one. I'm pretty sure it was, because this colour looks like a Brute Ferner colour to me. And then obviously I gave her red hair. She kind of looked like a bit of a mermaid vibe to me because she had like these little bits of coral in her hair. So I thought I'd do her as like a little bit of a Ariel the Little Mermaid with red hair. And then I did like the matching red gem down the bottom. And then the next one that we did in here was this one. So the little ladybug house. And again for this one I used the Brute Ferner pencils. And this one was a colour along on my channel as well, so I think I did this one in a couple of parts. So there's a few videos up on my channel for this one. And then, is there any more in here? Ah, this one. Take the tags off so you can see. So this one again was quite a recent colour along that we did on my channel, with the fairy with the glass bottles. And again, I used Brute Ferner for these. I must actually like the Brute Ferner pencils in this book. So we used the Brute Ferner pencils to do all of the sort of insides of the glasses and her dress. And then the background was done with watercolour paints and some Posca to add in some stars and some little shiny bits in the background. And that's everything from this book. Next we've got Disney Portraits, which I've completed a couple of pages in. So let's have a look. Here's the green tag. Okay, so the first one was Donald Duck. And this was done with Arteza pencils and some acrylic paint for the background. So this pink and yellow was all acrylic paint. I actually quite like how he came out. I did have to look at a picture to get his little outfit right, but that was how he turned out. And then next we've got, where's the next one? Got so many tags in here. Is it this one? Yeah, this one. So this one I did with the Brute Ferner pencils, and then again I used some acrylic paint to do the background and these sort of corally bits and the bubbles. But Ariel herself was done with Brute Ferner and like this little bit of background around her. And then we've got Dory, which I think I used Castle Art pencils for this. I haven't got it written down in here, but I'm pretty sure it was the Castle Art pencils. But these are just super cute little pages, and they don't take that long to do really, especially this one because it had the black background. It didn't take very long at all. I think that's it for this one. Yep. So that's everything from that book. Next we've got Rita Berman's 4 Seasons book. So I've done a couple in here. So this one I did for Easter, so the little bunnies and the sheep, and I did this using Arteza pencils, and then I just added like a little bit of gold gel pen to sort of go around these little borders here and make it look a little bit more like a framework. But I was quite happy with how that came out. I quite like the gradient, how it goes from lighter to dark on the pink sections, and then like these ones here I just did blue around the edges so that we'd have this bit of white in the middle just to break it up a little bit, so it wasn't all like block colours in the picture. And which one have we done in here? We've done another one in here, this one. So this one I did from the summer section. I used a mixture of pencils on this page. So I did some Black Widow, some Faber-Castell Black Edition, and I also used some Arteza pencils for the background as well. So it's a real mixture on here, but it was quite a fun page to colour. So it was just all different random objects and just trying to pick different colours for them, which is always good fun. And I think that's the only one that I've done is them two in the time frame that we're working with. Yeah, that one was the 11th, so that one doesn't count. So yeah, I think there's only them two from this book, from Jan to June. Next we've got Thomas Kinkade Studio Disney Princess Colouring Book, and I know I've only done one in here, one completed page, which was this one, which I finished quite recently. Yeah, the 6th, so this one was finished quite recently. I used the Brute Ferner pencils for this one, and then I used some like Posca pens in the background, so some reds, greens and whites, just to sort of try and get these flowers looking similar in the background. But yeah, this one took me so long to do. I think I've already told you guys in my last video where I showed my completed pages, but I'm quite happy with how it came out. And that's everything for that book. Next we've got A Million Magical Creatures by Lulu Mayo. So I've done quite a few in here actually. Find my little tags. So this one I've done quite recently. This one was a colour along on the channel. So we used the Castle Art pencils for this one. And then we used a bit of Posca to sort of outline the unicorns and the wings. But yeah, we used the Castle Arts even for the background. So it was just a whole page with Castle Art pencils. I actually really like how this page come out. I think it looks super cute, and these little dragons at the bottom as well. I think they came out really nice. So I'm quite happy with that page. So that's that one. And then we've got another one here. So this one was done for Mermaid. I used Faber-Castell Black Edition for this and some soft pastels just for this sort of like little inside background area. And then I went in with some gel pen. So I used some blue gel pen here to go over where the waves are breaking. And then blue and pink for the clouds, just to make them look a little bit different so they weren't all white. So I'll bring it up so that you can see the blues and the pinks in the clouds. And I went around the unicorn with a yellow Posca pen as well, just to make her really stand out. And I think she looks quite cool. From a distance, it almost looks like the moon. But yeah, that was that one. And then we've got another two in here. So we've got this one on this side, which was done with the Castle Art pencils. And I used some gel pens on here as well. So I used some gel pens on their beards. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. Some gold silver gel pens, just to add a little bit of shine to them. And then this side was done with the Faber-Castell Black Edition. And then I think I used some of the coarse pastel pencils as well, just for this background area. I think that was done with the pastel pencils. But just a super bright and colourful double page. I know it's not a double page spread, but I like to make them sort of match. And I did them both as bright and colourful as I possibly could. So that's them too. And I think that's it for this one. Yep. Okay, so next we've got A Million Sloths, and it looks like I've only done 2 so far this year in this book. So we've got this one here, which I did with the Black Widow pencils and some soft pastels for the background. And then I used some Faber-Castell Black Edition just to do these little whales in here, because I didn't have any grey colours in the Black Widows or the yeah, just the Black Widows. I didn't have any grey pencils in the Black Widows, so I had to use the Faber-Castell Black Edition just to do these little whales in here. But I think that came out super cute. I really like the whales. I'm not too keen on the tablecloth that I did there now. Looking at that, I'd probably change it if I was to go back, but I can't go back, I can only go forwards. And then next we've got this one. So this one again was done with the Faber-Castell Black Edition, and then I used some acrylic paint to fill in all of the sea in the background, and then I used some Posca pens to go over all of these lines in here. So all the black lines, I went around with the different matching coloured Posca pens just to try and make it look a little bit more colourful, really, so it didn't have all the big thick black lines. But this page was actually one that I tried to do with watercolour paints in the background, and it was a disaster. So I had to go over it with the acrylic paint and just sort of block colour it out so that it looked better. But it actually turned out not too bad in the end, so I'm not mad at it. So that's the only 2 from that book. Next we've got A Million Unicorns by Lulu Mayo. So I've done quite a few in this book. This one I did for Valentine's Day, and I think it was the Arteza pencils that I used for this. Looking at the colours, it looks like the Arteza pencils. So I decided to do that one for a Valentine's Day colour, because I hadn't really got many for Valentine's Day, and because this was shaped like a heart, I thought, that'll work. So we did that one for Valentine's Day. And then I did this one here. So for this one, I used the coarse pastel pencils and the Faber-Castell Black Edition just for this little dark bit down the bottom. I think everything else was done with the coarse pencils because it's all quite light and pastel looking. I'll just bring it up so that you guys can see a little bit better. I was quite happy with how the moon turned out on this picture and the little glow in the clouds. I think that came out quite nicely. So yeah, that was this one. And then I've got one more. This one. So for this one I used the coarse pastel pencils, and then I used some Arteza pencils, I think it was, for the whales, because I didn't have a black, so I used the Arteza to colour in the killer whales in the background. And then I used some soft pastels to get like this sort of galaxy effect, and then added in the Posca pen to give it some detail, because I wanted to make it like sort of match this side. But this side was more like a space one, and this one was more like a sea one, so there's more sort of like greeny colours in there. But this is how it came out, and I think the pages both together actually look quite nice if I take this off. So they match quite well, so I'm quite happy with that. And I think that's everything for this book. Okay, last one of Lulu Mayo's. We've got A Million Mermaids, and I think I've done 2 in here so far this year. So this is the first one that I've done, and looking at it, it was the coarse pastel pencils. I'm not sure about the background. It's pencil, but I'm not sure which pencils I used, and I've took my tag out, so I can't tell you, I'm afraid. So that was this one, just a cute little picture. And then we've got this one here, which was done with the coarse pastels and the Faber-Castell Black Edition for all of these like sort of outside details and her. And then the background in this one, I used the Bambino crayons and then some white Posca to add in some detail. And I used a pink glittery Posca pen to go around her hair just to make that look a little bit different as well. If I bring it up, you might be able to see a little shine on her hair. So that was that one. Okay, next we're moving on to bigger books. So this is Pop Manga's Mermaids and Other Sea Creatures. So I've only actually done 1 in here in the whole 6 months, which is quite shocking really, isn't it? So I did this little merman, full mermaid, should I say. So for this one, I used the Faber-Castell Black Edition, and then I used some gold gel pen to do all of these little crowns in the background so that they had a little bit of sparkle to them. And then I used some soft pastels in the background for this one as well, just so it kind of matched this side. But yeah, I think he came out quite nicely in the end. It was my first merman that I'd coloured, so not too bad. Next we've got Geomorphia by Kirby Roseanne, and I think I only managed to do 1 in here as well. So it was this one, and again for this one I used the coarse pastel pencils, and we used some soft pastel for the background and then just some white Posca to go around the clouds and add in the little cloud detail in the sky. But these rocks took me forever to do, but I actually really like how they came out, so I'm quite pleased with that one. And I like the castle as well. I think that came out really nice in the pinks and purples. Next we've got the Romantic Country from Erie. So I think I've done 2 in here. That one didn't count, that one was the 11th. So the first one that I've done, so this is the first one that I did. This was a colour along that I did on my channel. We used the Castle Art pencils to do this and some Posca pens just to add in like the little details in the sea or the lake. I'm not quite sure which it is. But yeah, I was super happy with this one. It came out really nice. The colour along was in quite a few parts. I didn't have the memory space on the camera at the time to record for longer, but now I can record for longer, so they're not as short anymore. But yeah, this was really cute. I really like how the castle came out and the little cat as well. I think he's super cute. And then we did, or I did, this one here, which is this little Easter egg page. So I just used the Castle Art pencils for this, and then I used some metallic watercolours to add in the extra eggs in the background. So I did this one for Easter, as you can imagine, the Easter eggs for Easter. But yeah, I think this one came out okay. I haven't done the background on it really. I just added in some sort of like little extra Easter eggs. I might go over it with some soft pastels and just add a little bit more colour to the background so it's not quite as white. Next we've got Mythomorphia by Kirby Roseanne, and I've only done one in here, so I'm pretty sure this is going to be the one that I've done. So this is the picture that I've done in here. Again, a merman. So this is my second merman that I've ever completed. But yeah, I used the Arteza pencils for this one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Arteza pencils. And then I just used some white Posca pen to go around and add in some little bubble details into the sea. I think this might have been soft pastel around the edge, to be fair. This light blue, I think it was soft pastel. And then the rest was all done with the Arteza pencils. But I was quite happy with how he came out. Quite a nice little merman. Oh, I'm lying. It says I used the Brute Ferner pencils on that. So that was the Brute Ferner pencils, not the Arteza pencils. Okay, next we've got Nice Little Town 4, and I've only done one in here so far this year, and that is this one, which was completed quite recently. So yeah, this was in my last finished pages, the 6th. So yeah, this one was completed quite recently, and I used the Arteza pencils and some Posca pens to add in some little grass details and some cloud details, and then just some like little reflections on the windows. So yeah, just a cute little page. Next we've got Best Dressed Pets by Creative Haven. So for this one I did this page here. So I used the touch markers on this one to do like a base on all of it, and then went over with the Faber-Castell Black Edition to add in some extra shade. And for him I used some, I think it was a Brian Posca pen, just to add some like little fur texture to him. I'm pretty sure that's what I used for that. Yeah. And then the rest of this pencil work was done with Faber-Castell Black Edition. So I tried to give these like flowers some shade. I'm not sure how well it looks, but I tried. So that was that one. And then last but not least, we have got 50 Ocean Miniatures. And I've done one picture in this one, which is this little seal picture. I used the Castle Art pencils for this and some Posca pen. So if I fold it over, you might be able to see a little bit better. I think he came out super cute, actually. I do like this picture. It's quite cutesy. But I think all of her pictures are quite cutesy, so that's always nice. So yeah, that was it, you guys. So that is everything that I've coloured so far this year. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And I'll see you guys in the next video.